Indie Beacon Radio with hostess Shanalee Sharboneau. Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
So good evening. My name is Shanalee Sharboneau, better known as the Shanalee, and tonight I've got a real treat. Author James M. Myers. He is the author of the book Slaughterhouse Rules. Welcome, James. How are you? So really, this is an incredible story. And let me just kind of give a teaser here as we talk. We all hear stories about rags to riches, and you're one of those guys. And whether you claim it or not, I'm just gonna tell everybody you are. And, we all see, your fame and fortune, and you came from a really, really difficult background. So let's start there. What was your childhood like, James, and what was the expectation of you growing up?
Ooh, two questions in one sentence. Okay, so my childhood was like, as I state in the book, it looked like back in the 50s and 60s, there was a show on TV called Ozzie and Harriet. Yeah, where everything was good and everybody's happy and everybody gleeful and everybody is plentiful and bountiful and life is really good on Cherry Lane, if you will. And our household looked like that on the outside, but it wasn't like that on the inside. There was a significant amount of, there was some physical abuse. It's in the book. A significant amount of mental abuse, a lot of that. So very disparaging, discombobulated family structure was pretty bad. And then we moved around a lot as well. So we didn't get a lot of good continuity as children, between friends and family and stuff. So and we became isolated out in the country as well. So that didn't help either. And what was your second question, please, in that first sentence?
So did you have, growing up in this type of childhood, what was your expectations as a young adult? I mean, what did your family, I mean, obviously there was some discombobulation. So was there mentoring? Was there any motivation to do something great in life?
No. No. I'm going to take statements out of the book was get a job, boy. I mean, that was it. And there was really very little guidance, very little. I didn't know what college was. I didn't read any books per se. When I got out of high school, they kicked me out, just give me D's to get me out of there because I didn't really learn anything. I could abstract, multiply, and divide. I was half the time of my adolescence was on a farm. And so it was pretty much child labor. 25 cents an hour was my first job, 25 cents an hour. And since then it's gone up a little bit. But between feeling as though you have been used and abused as a child labor and farm work, right? And then just, work. Not much of a mindset of future opportunity. Didn't really know much. A lot of ignorance, if you will, about the real world out there. We were in a very small town in northwest Illinois, in the heartland, right in the heartland of the United States. So a lot of corn and soybean.
So you keep mentioning your job, and you dug ditches, and you also worked in a slaughterhouse, correct?
Correct. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, so for future value, they talk about the meat packing plants and so forth in the food industry. I've worked every aspect of the food industry except being a broker. I mean, I've done pretty much everything in the food industry.
Wow.
The meat packing plant where I worked was up in northwest Illinois. It was a small independent slaughterhouse, and we did steers. And I worked there for 6 years, up until I was 24, almost 25. And probably quote escape.
Yeah. And just to give an idea, as we move through this timeline, you ended up becoming a CEO, correct?
Correct. I started my own company back in 2001. It was a business risk management consulting company.
Wow. And it became successful, obviously.
It did. Not as successful as I wanted. I wanted to be doing 10 million in revenue in 10 years. And I said, if I'm not doing that, I'm out. And I wasn't doing that. So I left it. And I started another company in cybersecurity.
Wow. Fantastic.
So I've been in IT security risk management for 20 years. I could write a whole book and talk about that for days. I won't bore you with that.
Wonderful. So this book is a little bit based in fact that it does take place in a slaughterhouse, correct?
What's called slaughterhouse rules, and I codified in my life 5 rules I live by, and I learned pretty much all of them between really farming and working in the slaughterhouse. And the 5 rules of life that I live my life by now, which really propelled me and helped me be successful, is accountability, integrity, resilience, respect, and trust. And it's on page 9 of the book. And in the very bottom, the very last one, I did this on purpose. I don't tell you this. More of a mind thing. I put trust at the bottom because trust is a baseline to all the other rules. If you don't have trust, everything else falls apart in life, whether it's social, personal, professional. You've got to have some level of trust amongst people and yourself. You have to trust yourself as well. You really need that.
Wow. So those 5 rules to live by is what you feel has become and made you very, very successful. And I think people hear what makes good people or what has made them successful. But what's awesome in this book is that you've taken them and contained them into the lesson of the slaughterhouse rules, if you will, which I think is really brilliant. So you followed those rules to go from working in a slaughterhouse to moving your way up. Now you did decide to go to college. You felt that was good for you. And were you the only one to find your way to college? Was this a unique experience for your family?
Yeah.
And how did you do it? Because most kids have, their parents guiding them and paying for it and what have you. What did you do?
Honestly, there was a statement called ignorance is bliss, and I was ignorant, and I didn't, I told people in the slaughterhouse, I was in the slaughterhouse one day, and I said, okay, I put my 2 weeks notice in, I joined the Navy, I'm going to be an engineer. And my coworkers just laughed at me and walked away. Like, yeah, sure you are. Well, I never went back. But anyway, I was the first. If I would have known then what it would have taken to go to engineering school at a major university, I would have never done it. It was so unbelievably difficult for me because I didn't know how to read anything. I didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to take notes. I've never done that in my life. I didn't know anything about a library. I didn't know anything like that. But I worked through being an electronics technician on a battery missile frigate in the United States Navy helped me in that regard, right? I had to get into the books. So it forced me in that direction. But turns out that I didn't know this until I graduated. I was the first male in the history of my family to even go to college.
Wow.
Go to college, number one. And number 2, I got an engineering degree, which I completely out of the norm. And number 3, I went through the Navy. Nobody ever done the Navy. So then I was dumb enough and ignorant enough, I figured I'm going to go get another degree too later on. So I did that too. But, the company I worked for at the time paid for that. So that's okay.
Well, James, I want to hold it there because I think, you're giving a really good setup about succeeding in life and how you did that. So we're going to be right back talking to James M. Myers, the author of Slaughterhouse Rules.
Thank you.
I'm Rox Berkey.
And I'm Charles Brakefield. We're award-winning co-authors, Brakefield and Berkey, of the Enigma book series. There are 10 books in the series, with book number 11 planned for release in January 2020.
Each story has a central technology focus ranging from identity theft to cryptocurrency and now AI wars. These adult techno thrillers pit cyber good guys against cyber thugs across the darknet.
In our world, technology is today's weapon of choice. You can enjoy ebook format, paper, or Audible. We want your feedback.
Until the next story, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, hello there, my friends. My name is Randy James, independent voiceover producer in the Dallas, Texas area, available to write and record a 30-second commercial, much like the one you're hearing right now. It's a great way to help increase awareness and exposure to your book title. It's easy to do. Simply call me and we'll brainstorm on a few ideas, and in a few hours, I'll whip something up and send you a digital file ready to use. Remember, call or text me, Randy James, at 214-762-1942.
Welcome to IndieLector.store, an online bookstore where the discriminating reader can find award-winning books. IndieLector.store is not a big corporation, so we can give up to 80% of the sales directly to the author. Help us support them by buying a great book at IndieLector.store.
Hello, I am the author and poet Denise Bryson. I am the author of The Things That Cross My Mind, Love's Reality, both in book and audio form. I am also noted as one of the best poets of 2011. I have two new projects coming up. One is the Blinky series, where Blinky tells us all about our coins and our bills for our children. I also have a book coming out called Say Ye. It's quotes from Denise Bryson, just inspirational and that will help you along the way.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
So welcome back. We are talking to James M. Myers, the author of Slaughterhouse Rules. Welcome back, James.
Well, thank you very much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you've told this great story, and let's, since I think we've kind of, we can hear you a little bit better, tell the 5 rules again to live by.
Accountability, integrity, resilience, respect, and trust.
Yeah, see, and those, those are really good characteristics, but to be able to focus on them, I think you're right. I think that really kind of propels you into success and something you need. We all think, well, what am I missing? And that would be a great checklist to go back. So you started off in a family that had some issues, like all families do. They were challenging yet, though, and you started working in a meat packing plant, and then you become this great CEO. But one of the interesting things we talked about with this book is that you felt like you had a strong fan base that should read this book due to the fact that it will change their lives. And who is that?
Millennials.
But you gave great age range. What is that? Because I think that
I know. Well, it's actually wider than that. But in my mindset when I was writing, that's what I was thinking. But the reality is anywhere from freshman in high school to 40 years of age.
Yeah. And I think that's beautiful, because for people watching this, and for those that are like 14, 15, they might go, well, I'm really young. And us older folks, we can look back at that time and realize that that was a trajectory of a path that can take. Now, you can change that, but that is the golden hour of making you who you are. It's a long process. Some of it's really great, but 40, you start getting a little tired. Want to wind
tumultuous years. They can be tumultuous years. They can, and there can be tragedy along the way. There was for me, and so, but never give up. Change the course, change the direction. Recharge your potentials as a person, as what you think and believe you can do, and go for it. Yeah,
absolutely. That's beautiful advice. And I think the power of this book is, when you talk about going into the Navy and just becoming an engineer, at some point risk is important, and to be able to just say, I'm going to do this, and look what great, that's part of it too. I don't want any young people reading this thinking you just have to set a path and stick to it and that's it, because you can do anything in life, but that's the key, is persistence, and to utilize that time.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to be the best engineer I could be. You know, I just want to be an engineer. I don't remember why, or I just felt and believed I could do it.
Wow.
And I was lucky. I was very fortunate. I had a mentor at the time. I didn't even know what a mentor was till now. I'm mentoring a couple of people, of course, for you know, the millennial age, if you will. And you know, I can talk. I get where they are. I understand because I've been there, done that. You know, I was, and and, and for me, it was about it. I wanted to educate myself. I wanted to get educated. I didn't know how to do it. So, like I said before, ignorance is bliss, and I just jumped into that big bowl of educated soup and went for it and figured it out along the way. You know, it wasn't easy. It was a long road to hose, but you know, it took me. I didn't graduate college till I was 35. See,
It's still
so
so.
yeah, you know, so I was very non-traditional, and I told myself going into it in my quote 10-year plan that, well, I can be a 35 with a degree or 35 without it. It's my choice. It's my choice. You
Time
know,
still passes. Absolutely.
I
So
decided that was it.
yeah, and you went from homelessness. So, and I just want to push that out there before we start focusing on the book, because this is not a story of, hey, I had a little bit of an issue. This is, I was homeless and I worked my way to this. So what is this book about? I mean, I've given the preface of who you are and how it may have come out of you, but what is this book about?
Is Here's what the book is not about. It's not about motivating people to do things. I can't motivate somebody to do something. It has to come from within themselves. But I can inspire them to think about their other, if they are, you know, if they believe they have some other type or form or value in life, some potential, like I say in my book, then figure out a way to go get it, to go use that potential to be the person you want to be for the future value. And I say this, for the future value of yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first along the way so you can take care of others. If you are, you know, and that's what this book does. It helps people understand, you know, the white Caucasian male from Midwest, you know, small town, farming, everything's leave it to fever, whatever. It's not necessarily the case, you know. Not all hard lives come out of the inner cities. Some very difficult times, and other people had even worse times than me. I went to a lot of funerals when I was very young, you know, and it was really sad. And so, and now I see it again, you know, with the pandemic and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So this book will definitely help people. And it's a good read. There's no big words, there's no big swear words, nothing like that. It's PG. Anybody can read it. And I've received some. One of the common feedbacks I've received so far is I couldn't put it down.
Wow.
Here's what's going to happen next. Well, that's because of the inspirational aspects and helping people find their own little potential to make a change in their life. You know, do something. If you're
You
not
know,
happy, do something. But if you are happy, man, that's great. More power.
I really, and this is a compliment, I want to compare your book to Essentialism, which is it changed, I know, my life and my son's life. And I think people need to hear that. And one of your powerful messages is so many people try to do so much and not find what they're good at. And the millennials, I will give them that they have learned that if they're not happy, they will move on. But that's half the battle. The other half is,
I'm all for that.
yeah, and it really taught some of the other generation to look inside and go, God, I'm not really happy. Why am I doing this? But very powerful statement for especially somebody, you know, going into their own to find it, and that's important. And to
I read all the stuff about millennials today, the definition, everybody puts definitions on us, which drives me insane. And quite honestly, I kind of don't like rules anyway. But anyway, I look at the definition of millennials, I'm like, I was like that when I was 18. I'm still like that. I still got things I need to do, want to do, and have goals and things I'm going to do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Why
this
not?
book walks you through that. I think it's almost like an inner, and I don't think you have to be, I mean, I joke about 14 to 40, but I think even at my age, which we won't admit, but it's not in that zone, that it probably would motivate me and refresh me. I know what I'm good at. I know what I like to do, but I'm excited to read it just to find out what I might have missed. Does that make sense?
Yes. Because
Yeah.
it might spark something in your mind. You go, I need to put a plan together and go figure out how I can do this, or so I can get in that direction, or make a little bit of a change to help my family and myself, my friends, my future value, whatever it is. Now, keep in mind, if you're an individual in life and you're content and you're happy, then this book is still for you because things change.
Awesome.
Life is all change. It's constantly changing, constantly evolving. It's how we, live through those waves, if you will, waves of change to make a big difference. And that's what that book is about.
Wow. Well, James, we're going to take a break. I want to leave it there because this is really interesting. We are talking to James M. Myers, the author of Slaughterhouse Rules: One Man's Success in Navigating Life, Hollywood, and the Corporate World.
Hollywood.
Hi, I'm Jerry Reedy, author of the book Heat in the Vegas Night. The book is a true inside story of a group of sophisticated blackjack players that take large sums of money from Las Vegas, led by one man, the boss, who trained a group of ex-college athletes from the Pacific Northwest to use a mirror to see the dealer's hole card in blackjack. The true story, stranger than fiction, is about casino espionage, teamwork, guts and determination, and courage. Find the book at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target.
Thank you for watching or listening to Indie Beacon Radio. Our sponsor, IndieLector.store, is the only bookstore that pays authors their fair share for book sales. Help authors to succeed and enjoy a great book by supporting them at IndieLector.store. Enjoy a 10% discount with coupon code SHOPPER20 at IndieLector.store. Coupon valid until December 31st, 2020. That's IndieLector.store, coupon code SHOPPER20.
The 5th Annual Authors Marketing Event. 2 days of live seminars in marketing for authors. The only organization that certifies authors in marketing. Live and free to the first 100 authors registered. Sponsored by Bubblish, empowering entrepreneurs, and Indie Store, paying authors for their fair share. Head to www.2020.authorsmarketingguild.com today.
What started as a love letter to her son has become an international love letter for all parents to their children. Now you can read acclaimed author Shanalee Sharboneau's story to your children. When her son was very sick, she calmed him by singing her own song to him. She turned that song into the book, My Mama Loves Me, I'm Her Little Boy. She wrote 3 more magical books for all parents and kids 6 and under. Available at Indie Lector, Amazon, and all local and national outlets.
Authors Marketing Guild is a membership-owned organization designed to help authors succeed and learn how to better market and sell themselves and their books. Join us at authorsmarketingguild.com and receive so many benefits you'll wonder why you didn't join sooner. That's authorsmarketingguild.com.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
Welcome back. This is Shanalee Sharboneau. I'm your host for the rest of this evening, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is we're talking to James M. Meyer, the author of Slaughterhouse Rules. Welcome back, James.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, the one thing that, you've got a really colorful life. You ended up becoming an actor in Hollywood even. And I want to bring this up before we talk about the book being sold where it's available, because again, this book has got to be motivational to see you can do all these different things. And you don't have to stick to one thing, but yet you still can take that path and be successful with your role. So tell me a little bit about acting in Hollywood.
Well, the reason I got involved in acting in the first place, it was in advertising. I was living in Kansas City. There was a local advertisement in Kansas City, a small acting shop promoting how to best present yourself and do good speaking, presenting in front of others, you know, as a business person. And I just started my company as an entrepreneur. I'm like, I think I could use that. So I took his class, and just one thing led to another. Next thing I know, I was putting an action plan together to go out to Hollywood and make a go of it and bring my company with me, because, you know, it's a consulting firm. I can go anywhere I want. So it worked.
Wow.
And
That's
it really helped. It really helped my business a lot. You know, because acting is about active listening. You know, if all you do is stand there and spew information at people, you're giving them a monologue, and most people don't. You know, they're not good at accepting that. They want some bidirectional, you know, communication and connection with each other, and that's active listening. And you got to be able to do that as an actor, and you got to be able to do that as a business entrepreneur starting out. You got to really listen. Learn to listen. Active listening is absolutely critical.
Wow. So where can people get this book?
It's on Amazon now. All these places where I have it, it's in ebook and paperback.
Wow.
So it's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Apple, all three.
Wow.
And my next great project for the book is to get it on audio, because nobody wants an audio book.
And are you going to do another one at all?
Yeah, I've got two more in play here. One, I've got a working outline completed. It's kind of a spin. I haven't figured this out yet. I'm just going to write it and go for it and see where it takes me. But it might be a spin-off / sequel to Slaughterhouse Rules, but probably not. I'm going to take a different spin. And now, I've always wanted to write a novel, so.
Ooh, exciting.
That's probably another couple years down the road. First things first.
Right.
First audio book for the book I have. Now I want to write my next book. And then books take time, you know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of work.
James, it's been an extreme joy. You're an interesting character. I enjoyed this to really, and I think your message is very powerful, and I'm going to get this book. It's going to be really interesting. I think no matter if you're 14 to 40 to older, it will definitely make an impression on you in your life. So I want to thank you for joining us.
I like to close it out with one quote from me. This is my quote, and I'm going to open up I have a slaughterhouserules.com website.
Oh yes. What is that website?
And I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn since '98. But anyway, I have a www.slaughterhouserules.com. You can check it out. But anyway, I have quotes in the book. At the end of every chapter is a quote. And the very last chapter is my quote, which is going to also be the title to my YouTube channel. And that is, "You are the CEO of your life."
Fantastic. James.
You are the CEO of your life. Whether you like it or not, you are.
Absolutely. Nobody else to blame.
That's it. Be accountable.
Well, you have a good evening. We're speaking with the author, James M. Meyer, author of Slaughterhouse Rules. Y'all be safe.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website.
Indie Beacon Radio with hostess Shanalee Sharboneau. Indie Beacon Radio is produced by B. Allen Bourgeois for Authors Marketing Guild LLC, copyright 2020. Voiceover by Randy James, Lydia Bello, and B. Allen Bourgeois. To be a sponsor of the show or for more information, please email us at info@authorsmarketingguild.com. To be interviewed for the show, please complete the form at radio.authorsmarketingguild.com. Music Always Rejoice by Ramcord